Shit, let's try that again.
So for the listeners who do not know you guys, can you give some background information about yourself?
Okay, so I'm Gabe Garza. I own a company called Aerial Horizons. I graduated from Fitch last year. I've lived in Mystic, technically Groton, for the past 8 years of my life. Come from a military family, so I've been all around. But I've been here for the longest. Graduated from Fitch, like I said. I'm not going to college. I'm really going to take up business. That's what I enjoy more. So yeah.
My name is Zach DeBottis. I'm also the co-owner of Aerial Horizons. About a year ago, I started my own separate company before I graduated high school. I've been living in Mystic, Connecticut for all of my life. I really love Mystic, Connecticut. You know, it's my hometown, really passionate about it. So to be the co-owner of Aerial Horizons with Gabe Garza and capturing just the life of Mystic, we both enjoy that. We just love it.
That's awesome, man. So what was it like growing up in Groton, Mystic area?
So for me, like I said, I've only been here for the past 8 years. I came from a military family, so I actually moved from South Carolina to here. It was about 5th grade when I moved here, and I'm going to be completely honest. It was hard moving into this area as a new kid. A lot of people weren't very welcoming. I was made fun of a lot. I mean, I was a little bit of a weird kid, but it was really, yeah, and it was really hard to get into like the cliques that were in, you know, Fitch High School and, you know, my middle school that I went to. So it was a struggle for the first, I would say, 3 or 4 years, and then high school came and it got a little easier to make friends, but it was good altogether. It's just hard to get into the cliques. I really like that.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I do remember way back in middle school. What grade did you come in? You came in 5th grade? Yeah, so I met Gabe in middle school. I didn't meet him, but I saw him in our middle school. I was like, who's this new kid? and I did think he was a little weird at first, exactly. But around 7th grade we started to get to know each other, and then 8th grade we became like the best friends, and then ever since then we've just been best friends literally ever since.
That's awesome. It's like you got that genuine friendship now.
Yeah.
Now we own a business together.
And now we own a business together.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
But that's like, sometimes they say not to like build a business with your friends, and like I saw with another business that I had, it did not work out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you find the right person and it's less people, like just you two, that's perfect, because you guys can bounce off each other and kind of build easier when you have someone else to just lean on that you know you can trust.
Yeah, and one thing I think that's huge when you're going into business with someone, because he said before, I owned this company actually with 2 other partners before, and actually about a month ago they pulled out, which sounds bad. It's really good actually, and now I own it with Zach. But the one thing I think you need to look into when you're going into a business with someone is that end goal that they have. So if you two both have the same end goal, you 3 or whatever, that end goal is really what's gonna, like, over time, you know, if you don't have the same end goal with the company, at one point throughout the business, you're going to run into some conflict, and it's going to be a pretty big conflict, because when you have 2 different goals, you know, something's going to split at that point. You know, it's going to split ways.
Very true. Your interests will shift, and things will get a little hectic.
And then if you have a business together, it's like, well, shit, like, we got to still stick together, so it's like...
Yeah, exactly. Or
cut ties.
Like, drastically, you know, end everything, which kind of sucks in that position, but...
It's almost like ending a relationship.
I was just about to use that analogy. Like that's crazy. Yeah. So what was the Fitch school system like for you guys? Because I know you said it was kind of hard coming in, but like, what was it like education-wise?
Yeah, you start off with that one.
Well, I myself struggled with ADD. Going into freshman year, totally flunked freshman year. I did not do well. So from that, sophomore year, I did amazing. I don't know how I did it, but then after that, I kind of fell off the grid again.
What switched, like, what changed?
Well, I realized that I was failing, and my family was just like, oh, you gotta do something about these grades.
Yeah.
And so I really put my foot to the ground, and I actually did really, really well sophomore year.
That's dope.
But then after that, I kind of fell off again, because school is just really not my thing. Like, they were trying to teach me a bunch of things that I didn't want to learn.
Yeah.
You know, my interests were way different than what the school system was trying to teach me. And so really, I just didn't really cooperate with the educational system, and so that's a good reason as why I started my own business, and I'm not going to college and stuff like that.
The thing is, they like treat everybody as the same person and they're it's like a cookie cutter and they're like,
Yeah.
all right, you got to learn like this. You can't
Do
learn
like
the way
this,
you're
yeah.
good at learning because that will be bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what?
Yeah.
Like, what if we like looked at all these kids and we were like, all right, how do you learn best? They do that. They like you go to that one like survey thing where
Yeah,
you like write
yeah.
down it like what are you what is it, auditory?
Yeah, there's auditory, there's visual, and there's
and-
something else.
Yeah.
We need to focus in school.
Yeah, and like why can't we just like have different classes for those different types of
Yeah,
kids?
and it, like what Zach said too. Like when I was in school, I struggled with ADHD severely.
Mhm.
So, and I can tell you straight up, the public school system is not made in any way for a kid who has ADD or ADHD, because it's hard. Like I mean, ADHD and ADD is like something where it makes it harder to learn. You don't
Yeah.
understand things as well. So when you are going into a school, and it's also you get a lot of pressure from your teachers and other students. So when you're not at the level of everyone else, which is almost all the time when you have ADHD, it's also like it's killer for your self-esteem, and then it's all
Yeah.
one falling piece because you're already behind a little bit, and then you start to get like the stress from other people talking about you or whatever the hell they're doing. So like public school in my opinion is it's kind of trash for most people in my opinion, but it works for a lot of people at the same
So
time.
what's your opinion on homeschooling?
I think, well, actually, my girlfriend, I've been dating her for 2.5 years. She got homeschooled. It was actually a virtual academy, and she is 19 right now. She has her associate's degree, and in 1 year from now, she'll be 20 and she'll be getting her bachelor's.
That's
So,
insane.
She's killing it. So, and she was homeschooled, and I didn't really have any kind of perception on homeschooling before that until I started dating her, and I honestly think if you're the right person for it, I think it works magically.
I agree, because there's some people where it isolates them and it gets them like they don't get that social interaction, which a lot of people need.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
there's someone that, hey, they still go to football practice, they still go,
Sports helps a lot
yeah,
when you're
sports,
homeschooled.
sports, drama club, anything like the extracurricular activities that will allow the kid to still like get the social skills, but like he could be like you said almost 20 getting the bachelor's. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's smart, man. That's like I feel like.
It blows my mind.
Yeah,
I don't
it really
understand
does.
Honestly, I'm not even going to college, and she's at this point. It's like I don't even understand it. People
It's
ask
just
me about
like,
it. Yeah,
good for
exactly.
you. Like all you can do is sit back and clap. You can't get mad at someone that's able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just shows you how she's doing better than the school system where all these kids are getting out and they take till like 22 to get their bachelor's.
Yeah,
23,
yeah.
maybe even.
Luckily, if they're lucky,
Yeah.
if they're going on the regular path for college, it's 22. But you see like nowadays, not a lot of people are going on that normal path.
Yeah, they're like a part-time student for like 2 semesters long, and then they're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I was part-time. They're not even
Right.
they're focused on the party. Like they're like, all right, I had like 3 classes, I dropped one, I'll be good for next semester. And then they look and they're like, why am I still freshman standing? And they're 3 years in. It's like because
Right.
you didn't go to those classes. Nah, I feel that completely. So, can you talk about your path right out of high school?
So my path out of high school, originally, when I was a junior in high school, that's when, I didn't really focus too well in high school. So at that point I wanted to go to college and, just kind of fuck around a little bit more, go to college, party, the average, what a kid wants to go to college for.
The average high schooler's like dream.
Yeah, exactly. And so like until junior year, my path was to, go to college and just have fun. But it was actually the end of my junior year. I had a meeting with some of my advisors about college, and that's when my path like drastically changed because I couldn't go to the college I wanted to. So at that point, that's when I knew I wanted to get into real estate. So that was my path changed the end of junior year. I started interning at a real estate agency that summer, and that's where my whole path really it changed completely.
Blossomed.
Yeah, exactly, and it actually was more enjoyable at that point because school's fun and all, but you're not really growing. You're not growing if you're not learning and going to college to get a specific degree. And I was just going for fun. I just was enjoying it, and so that's where it changed all for me. Right around junior year.
Well, like I mentioned before, I started my business right before I got out of high school. So I did get a little bit of a jump start, and I honestly started my first business when I was 12. So I was very business mindset.
You've been an entrepreneur since you were young,
since the get-go. So I've been in that business mindset, but I was always going to go to college because my family was like, you need to go to college, because they didn't know, like, what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like, you're not doing well in high school, so you need to go to college to get a degree.
Yeah,
so
you
can
need
make
to
money.
go.
Right, and so I was kind of just like, yeah, I'm going to college, and I was, and I did go to college. I actually got accepted into UConn somehow.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, somehow I got accepted into UConn with a 2.6 GPA. That's crazy.
I feel you.
And so I got accepted into UConn. I did 2 semesters. I'm now taking the next semester off, and I have a feeling that I will not go back to...
Don't go back.
I'm probably not going to go back to college just because I've got 2 businesses, and I need time to focus on them. And
the thing is, you can always go back at some point. My
Right,
uncle Julie's dad, he got like his degree at age 40 something.
Exactly.
And now he's like, doing
doing
cybersecurity.
well.
So think about that. He didn't need to go to college at 20 years old, he did and went and partied and did stuff,
Right.
but then he went back, got his degree and did all that stuff, and 40 years in, you know what I mean? So you always got that time, but now just live life, man.
Right.
You got a business, you got 2 businesses.
Travel, if that's your passion, travel the world,
Yeah,
see
exactly.
new things.
I recommend it for everyone watching this. Travel as much as you can.
Because you experience the culture.
Yeah, and the difference in the culture that you live in.
That's the biggest part.
Huge thing, because when you look at how other people live, and I'll be completely honest, I haven't traveled as much as I want to, but it's a huge goal of mine.
But you came from South Carolina, so
Yeah,
that's a big move right there.
Yeah, right there, and I grew up in the really poor area of South Carolina, and coming to Mystic, Connecticut, that was a drastic change. A very rich area, so it makes me appreciative, honestly, because when you go see these other cultures and how other people live, you become appreciative for how you live, and you just see how life could be drastically different.
You understand perspective.
Exactly, perspective's huge.
Perspective's one of the biggest things, and I've been thinking about it a lot. It's so many people only view shit through their perspective. They will never ever go through their life knowing other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
It's just like walking in someone else's shoes. Some people don't have the mental capability to know how to walk in somebody else's shoes. They don't know how to take out, untie their shoes and put on somebody else's. They literally are these are cemented onto my feet. I can only use these, and it's crazy to think
it's
that
toxic. It's toxic because it's gonna put you in a situation when you're a little more grown up, and you're gonna fuck yourself. Honestly, it's gonna be bad. You're gonna cause problems with the wrong people, and you can't be appreciative towards life like you should be.
When did you get your first drone?
So I got my first drone. It was actually for Christmas. It was a Christmas present. 2016. So I got it as a Christmas present. I loved it. It was an ugly time to fly to. It was in snowing and ugly, but I remember getting.
But you were too happy and you were too hyped. Didn't you?
I was so excited, and at that point I was actually in real estate. I was interning in the real estate agency I was working for, and I actually wanted to get a drone because I always liked photography. Zach was a photographer when I was a freshman. I never actually had a camera myself, and I always envied it. I always loved, seeing other people's photos.
And John were always pictures.
Yeah, you know it too, because they were amazing too. They inspired me a lot for the photography side of things, and so when the drones really started getting popular, and I was in real estate, I knew that in real estate, a drone is really profitable because a real estate agent needs photos for their listings, and so when I wanted to get into photography. I was in real estate already, and I thought drones were cool as hell. I was I mashed them together.
It's an untapped niche right there.
Exactly. It's actually a lot of demand for licensed videographers with the drone right
Licensed. That's the key.
I'm licensed.
Can you talk about that? Because a lot of, so many people don't know you need a license to fly a drone.
Yeah, it's actually, so if you with a drone, you can get, it's a Part 107 license. It's about a 75 question, test you take on the computer. You have to go take it at an aviation center, and you can fly a drone legally for recreational uses, but that really limits where you can fly legally, because most people just get a drone and go fly, but you really you have to deal with airspace with airports and places like the Navy base. A lot of places where there's water around, there's a lot of dangerous places to fly because you'll either get shot down if you're too close to the Navy base, you're too close to the airport, you're causing a lot of harm on a lot of other things. So getting that license is super important. A lot of people don't like to do it, which I recommend it if you want to make money. It makes you profitable. It makes having a drone.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
It makes it's like I said before, it's in demand to have a license with a drone. because now it's starting to happen now because drones are so new. But now when people are looking for drone videographers, like big companies, like they're looking specifically to see if you have a license. So if you don't have a license, there's a good chance a lot of people won't hire you.
Do you know Casey Neistat?
I do. I love Casey Neistat.
So did you see his thing with DroneWorks where they went into 368 and they took basically they gutted a Hero Pro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they put it on top of like this small drone that was like almost just had 4 circles.
Yeah.
And then they it was like a test run. They flew it into like the 368 studio and it was able to like you know, they were playing basketball, so you were getting a tour of the place while in it, like, well, it seemed real. Like, there were people moving. Like, David Dobrik opened the door for it to go out. And it's, like, so crazy to think that, like, that was, like, something I've never seen before, where they used such a small thing to get in, like, the nooks and crannies. Like, Casey was doing pull-ups, and it went above his head and through, like, the chains and everything. Like, the fact that it could, like, navigate like that.
Yeah, I have never seen a drone small like that, but that sounds so cool, because... You know, the problem I have with my drone is it's too big to bring into like a house or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can never see a drone like, you know, this big, like flying around.
If it's a massive, you know, if it's a massive house, you know, that would be cool. You can do that, but you know, you can't get that opportunity too often nowadays.
Yeah, something with high ceilings.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, maybe
that's
with
cool.
the boathouse, when the boathouse gets rebuilt, because we're getting really high ceilings. It's like I'll bring you down there after the interview. You'll like it.
You'll see this. You'll see it. Later on, we'll be in this boathouse.
Let's see. So, after getting your first drone, how long did it take till you created Aerial Horizons as an LLC?
Okay, so it took me just about a year. It was 2016. So it took about, actually now that I think about a little less than 8 months, because I got it for Christmas, and then it was 2016, and I started. Actually, no, it was over a year, because it was 2017, May of 2017 that I started Aerial Horizons. So it was about a year and a half, a little less than that. I had the idea for a while to start a drone company because I knew it was in demand. But I didn't have the capability to do it. I didn't have the money to build up a company. I didn't have I wasn't in a time in my life where I could do something like that. And money was a big issue because when you're going into something like this, you need money. And so actually took me about a year and a half, and then I met with the 2 other partners I had, and they had the capital to invest, and so we got in it together. We made the idea together, and then it started, and it really flourished the first summer that we had it. We started it in May, and then that summer, the end of August, we made about $5,000 just from doing jobs that summer. And
that's sweet.
That was actually, I wouldn't have been able to do that without my 2 partners, because they had the capital to invest. But I had that idea for a while actually before it even became a thing. So it was a process. It was a process throughout the whole thing.
I can only imagine, man. So, what are some big events that you threw, that you were a part of throughout high school and from as you graduated too?
So
both of you.
Yeah. So for me, like with Aerial Horizons, some of the events we did. We filmed a lot of the Mystic events. So like we had the Mystic Irish Parade. We did a video for them and it came out beautiful. We did Mystic Eats last year, and actually we're going to be doing that this year as well. It's actually, we're at a point right now where we're starting to get a lot of big connections. Right now we have coming up, we're going to be doing videos for Liquid Sundays at Foxwoods. Sunday,
saw that. That's dope, man.
This Sunday we're going to be filming for Lil Jon. So make sure to be watching out for that. But yeah, we've done a lot of the local events for Mystic. That's really, event-wise, we've done a lot of Mystic. That's what we kind of like to capitalize on. We're all from, we've both been from Mystic, so. But we're kind of at a point right now where those connections and those events are starting to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I can see it now that, after a year, it's starting to really grow into where our events are getting bigger and bigger. It's really cool, actually.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. I mean, Gabe kind of went over it, but yeah, as he said, we're doing Liquid Sundays for Foxwoods starting this Sunday, and then we have a couple others coming up. We're getting their 3 celebrities that they bring down every summer. That's what we're capturing. So last summer they brought down Chris Brown, Drake, and somebody else I can't remember, and then this year they're bringing Lil Jon.
So it's two other weird
Two
people.
other-
They're like
yeah,
from
two other
Vanderpump
celebrities.
Rules. I don't know them. I'm just excited for Lil Jon.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah.
it's really just, it's going to be an awesome experience, really, because it's different themed liquid Sunday.
Yeah, they're gonna do a
different
beach one.
Yeah, it's like beach.
It's
Oh,
real
so
fun.
that's gonna be perfect to capture.
Yeah,
it's
really
a party
awesome.
too. It's a real party, and
Yeah.
it's a little new to us, but I have to say we're excited and we have enough experience to do it. So you're gonna get some really good content out of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. We actually
Yeah.
just filmed a proposal in Mystic, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big proposal, and we filmed it all. We actually just finished the video, like I just uploaded it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a beautiful video. It's
Yeah,
really
we actually,
cool.
so like what they did was, if you guys know about Mystic, there's a drawbridge.
Yeah.
And so they had, when the bridge goes up every hour, so boats can cross. And what they did was they had an old steamboat from the Mystic Seaport have a big banner on it that said, "Courtney, will you marry me?" And as that boat was going across the bridge, that girl, Courtney, her friends had her, set up in front of the bridge so she could see it.
Yeah,
and the
it
guy was
honestly
hiding
pretty
in a
good.
little
She had no idea.
Yeah, and the guy was hiding in a shop right behind her, and oh, it was the cutest thing. It made me want to cry a little bit. 'Cause it was like,
Yep.
he came out from behind, he surprised her. She had the best reaction too.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
I bet.
It was
That's genuine love. That's
yeah,
pure love.
Yeah. So wait for the video. You'll see the video. I promise you to make you want to tear up a little bit.
Yeah, it gives me the chills. Even I've seen it like a million times. I'm
Yeah,
the one
because
who
you've been
made
editing it, right?
Yeah, but it still gives me chills. Like,
Yeah.
So what do you edit with?
we edit with Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
We've kind of had the idea to go into Premiere, but I've really just figured out that they're kind of the same.
They're virtually
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
same
they're
thing.
virtually
pretty
the
similar.
same program. But Final Cut Pro, it's good.
I feel like
It gets the
Final
job done.
Cut is like, it really runs well with Mac products.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like-
it does. And that helps because we both have Macs,
Yeah, see, I'm working with this Windows thing right here, so it's like, I was like, all right, Adobe, Windows, they'll work together, they're compatible. But yeah, so what do you like about Final Cut though? Like,
Well, for me, I learned on Final Cut. So before Gabe and I owned this company, just us two, and he had it with the two partners before, I actually worked with them a lot. And so when I was learning Final Cut was when I was working with an old business partner with them. And so I really started to learn it just from that perspective. I've never really learned Premiere, so I just know where everything is on there, so I can get things done a lot quicker.
yeah.
But if I were to go to Premiere, like, I'd probably know where things
The thing is,
are.
it's like virtually
Yeah,
the same
right.
thing.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
what I've
like
heard from everyone.
It's like you'll just have to look here instead of here, and then here instead of here.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's so once you get it down, then you'll be open to like someone has Premiere open, you're like, yeah, I can edit something right here real quick, no problem. And it's
Right.
like those are the two main ones, right? I don't think there's any other ones that are at that caliber.
Yeah,
don't
no,
think
I think
so.
those are the two best ones. That's what I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So hey, like you basically got both of them down. You just have to go into the other one and check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about the music, man.
Okay, yeah, sweet. I'm excited.
Just what's going on in New London?
Okay, so, like I've told you guys before in this video, no, I do real estate. My company, Aerial Horizons, we do real estate. We do photos, videos of real estate, and then events and stuff like that. But to be completely honest, that's, I love the company, but what I want to do with my life is I want to do music videos. I want to capture the music industry. Since I was a young boy, I told you I grew up for about 5 years in South Carolina, and where I was in a really poor area, and so like rap music was huge there, and they absolutely that's where it became a part of me. I started listening to that type of music, and it stuck with me ever since till this day, honestly. And so I'm starting to work with some people over in New London, like Young Vice City, the whole Palm Green Records group. I love them, honestly.
They are great guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, Zach's
Energy is awesome there. They're so loving and they're just very welcoming, and they just
and they have the energy to become successful. Out of a lot of the people, I really see them, getting big, and so I'm going to be doing music videos for that whole group, and I'm really, really excited because that's what I actually enjoy. Real estate's fun and all, but what I get real enjoyment out of is doing music videos and be able to capture, because music, everyone loves music. You can relate to music. Music can always bring emotion to you in some way or one form or another. So for me, music, it's a different point in my life because I was doing real estate for, the past 2 years. And it's just recently that I've been getting into doing music videos, and I've been meeting with all these rappers in New London and everything. So it really makes me happy to know that, I'm starting to build this within music as well. So, you're going to see a music video portion of Aerial Horizons down the line. And you're going to see more music videos, and more of the music industry coming from Aerial Horizons as well. It's really, really exciting.
What do you guys think about the culture brewing in Connecticut?
I think it's definitely, it's a great culture. I think the artistic culture in Connecticut is amazing. I think whether it's photography, whether it's music, whether it's drawing, I think I've seen, and I think the art here is just, it's fantastic. I think no matter what town you go to, you're going to find a great artist, no matter what they do. I think the art is just, man, I love it in this area.
It's a creative state.
It is, and it's what got me really, like, living here, living in Mystic, and how beautiful Mystic is in this whole area. It made me want to become a photographer, even though they did it, like, just the area being in it. And the energy that a lot of people have about art here, it's all about growth. What I've seen, well, the good people, the people that have that good mindset about growth, it's kind of like, it's contagious a little bit with some people.
It really is.
When they want to grow, you see that energy that they're giving out, and it makes you want to grow.
You don't want to fall behind.
Exactly. Yeah, it's competitive too. This is a competitive
That's the
area.
thing. It's really competitive. You like obviously you can go out for a couple months and you come back, you'd be fine. But like there are people out here working day and night, every night, to make sure that their craft is manifesting to become better.
Yeah, definitely.
It's insane, man. So what else? Who else do you want to work with in this industry that you've been seeing out of Connecticut so far, and then maybe even beyond Connecticut too for the next part of the question?
So for me individually, I've been just recently looking into the music scene in New London, but some people that I really do like. I like people like Filthy V. I think he's really dope. Kerry F. I think he's got some great music. I love it. Like Wave Matthews. I haven't really worked with them too much. I've just worked with the Palm Green Records, but for now that's what I've seen. But I'm so excited to actually go out and meet more people in the the Connecticut area where music is their thing. I haven't seen too much of it yet, but I'm just getting into it. So I'm so excited to meet all the new people that I haven't met yet. There's a lot that's about to happen with it.
Bro, when I first came into this industry and started the breakthrough, I had no idea. I was thinking oh yeah, we got some people from New London. Then I fucking opened up my mind and I saw 20 different artists from Bridgeport. There's all these people from Hartford, New Haven, and then you got people from Torrington, and then you got people everywhere. And it's just nuts to see how much people there's Rob Markman, he's fucking around with Wade Matthews and Craigie, showing them a lot of love. I think, I don't want to be quoting the wrong person. I think on Bria's story I saw Styles P just saying hey, you just need someone to run behind and then have that same vibe and that same culture where everybody wants to hop on the train and we'll all do it together type of mentality. That's what we need. And I was I took that into it, and it's bro, Connecticut, 2018 Connecticut is so different from the past years, because as soon as January started, I saw everybody just working. Everybody was releasing new content. No one was stopping. And the
mindset in this area, I love it because, and it's not with everyone. I'll be completely honest. There's some people I've met that they just they say they want to do all these things, but they don't actually put in the work to do it. And I just try to distance myself from those people. But with the people that I've been working with, I see a mindset out of them where growth is the number one goal. As much as the hard work you have to put in, because it's not easy. You have to at least my goal with everything is you put at least a little bit of time every day into your craft. So when you do that every day, and I mean consistently every day, no matter how long it is, if it's an hour, if it's 30 minutes, whatever, if you're putting at least a little bit of time every day into your craft, you're going to perfect it. And so I like the energy that especially New London. New London has a really good energy for the majority of the people. They
support each other. That's the biggest thing.
The support is huge too. Someone tweeted it just yesterday, I think. But New London is one big family, and I'm not from New London at all, but I see that heavily. I see how
we're New London County. That's what
exactly.
I see.
New London County. That's a big way. That's a good way to put it. But another thing I wanted to bring up too that I think is really good, aside from music, is the clothing brands to come out of Connecticut.
Facts.
I think that's a huge thing that Connecticut does really well. There's a lot of creativity on that end, and I just want to name a couple Half Evil. It's really sweet. He's out in Chicago now. I don't know him at all, but I'd love to work with him one day. But I'm working with Hood Hope. I think Lovesick is really dope. I'd love to see more companies too, because I think this area, so far it's breeded some really good,
Bro, there's a
clothing
guy,
company.
Filthy 6'4", I'll show you his
Yeah.
sweater I got.
Yeah, please.
Fire, bro. I think he was the one who did the spider on the 333 Half Evil collab.
Oh, really?
So he did some artwork for Pope. There's a guy named Sukami.
I love Sukami.
Sukami had ski mask wearing Sukami.
Young Thug was wearing it.
Like what? Like there's ski mask was in the I almost said Young Thug video. He was in the No Jumper vlog.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy to think like that's No Jumper is like the biggest thing for the culture right now, and you see Sukami on Ski Mask, who is one of the biggest artists right now.
So like Aerial Horizons, I want to tell the people seeing this. Now I own it with Zach. We're both 50% owners. A lot of exciting stuff to come. This summer we've been super busy with work. We have a lot of big things coming. You're going to see a lot of growth out of this company in the next year, and you're going to see it go in a little bit of a different direction that it's been going in so far. And I think
which is very exciting.
I'm so excited myself. It's hard for me to contain it when I talk about it, but you're going to see so many dope videos come out. You're going to see so many, we are making connections this summer that is going to change everything for this company. We are, some of the people that we've been talking to, I'm not even going to tell you about any of them because you can, wait and see.
Yeah.
But, some of the people we've been talking to and some of the stuff that we're going to be coming out with very soon, it's going to be really, really dope. I'm so excited.
You'd rather just walk the walk than talk the talk.
Yeah, I used to talk about it a lot, and then certain things wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then, when you talked about it and it didn't happen, it looked bad, and so
Bro, I feel that completely. The only times, I've tweeted out about my interviews a couple times, but, times that I've tweeted out, a good 70% chance that artist isn't coming on just because I tweeted it out, and I'm like...
Yeah, it's I wish I didn't say that, shit.
Yeah, I'd rather, that's what I do, other than this one, I tweeted out this weekend just because it was an action-packed weekend, but other than that, I'll just be like, all right, here's an interview for you guys.
And honestly, I think it's better because, I don't know, in my opinion, depending on what you're releasing, but when you keep a little bit of, quietness about it, and then it keeps people wondering about what's going to happen next.
Ocean effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you keep people wondering, people are a little more drawn into what you're releasing when you release it. They're like, okay, I haven't heard anything from them. Let's see what's coming out. Let's see. And
Cole, when he fucking dropped KOD, people were like, we got new Cole.
Mm-hmm.
So it's but he was gone for that time from 4 Your Eyes Only. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
And then he was missing until KOD.
Yep.
Wasn't even on Twitter. And then now he's back into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think that, I don't know, there's two types of people, I feel like. There's a lot of people who show all their stuff, and I'm definitely, half of that person. I do show a lot of my progression, but at the same time, I just don't. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people just do not see.
Yeah.
I really want to show them, but, you just gotta wait till the final product until it's out there. Or you just gotta wait until you just skip the whole entire thing, and then you see me, extremely successful, and you're like, how the hell did this kid get here? And I'm like, well, you can watch it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can watch the progression. True.
I feel like when you're progressing too, in the progression of being an entrepreneur and everything, at first, whenever you get a good connection, you need to tell people about it. It's a feeling you get, and I've definitely felt it a million times. Because as soon as you, even if it's not set on happening, if there's a possibility of it, you want to tell everyone you know. And I was like that.
Thing ever.
Yeah, and I was like that for a while, and, certain things fell through, and, I talked about it, and it didn't happen. But then I feel like once you get to a certain point with entrepreneurship and whatever you're doing, music, clothing, whatever it is, you get to a point where you're starting to become a little successful, you're starting to make good connections and everything, and then you kind of step away to just work. And you don't need to post everything. You don't need to show your whole progression at that point because you just step away basically. And I think social media is so crappy sometimes because, I love social media. I have to do marketing on social media. We both do that and it's necessary. But altogether, social media is it's crappy. It's demeaning to everyone. It teaches you to compare.
Drug.
Yeah, it's addicting. It releases dopamine when you get a like or a message. And I think that's, if you look at our generation right now, there are a lot of people that go way too overboard with social media. And I think it can be used beneficially and not beneficially because you see these people, getting famous off of social media. And I think if you're using it towards that, hell yeah, go with that. But, some people are just, they're addicted to it. And it's terrible for your self-esteem in the long run. But social media can either be beneficial or not. And I think everyone who's watching this should if you're on your phone all the time, make some of that time beneficial.
Yeah.
Start growing an account. Even Clark and I grew an account at some point. Like Zach and I grew an account. Like there's
just
so
do
many,
something.
Yeah, do something that's not, going through your Instagram feed 8 times like within like 2 hours. Like there's just like build an Instagram account, build a Twitter account, build something that's gonna make you money. Make something that's profitable, because I know everyone watching this, think about how much time you spend on your phone a day.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you put half of that time into building something that's profitable. Give it a couple months, maybe longer than that, and if you use half of that time and you make it profitable in the long run, like it's not hard. It's really like, I mean, it's consistency that you need to put into it, but it's not really that hard. Like social media is and I know a lot of people know how to like manipulate social media and use it to their benefit, and I think we're getting into actually a time now with everything where more people are starting to use it in a beneficial way. You see more people getting famous off of it, more people making money off of it. And I love that, because that's, I think, how social media should be used, instead of, just doing it Yeah.
What I really like social media for, specifically Instagram, is for like all the artists who post their work and everything like that, whether you're a photographer, fine arts, whatever it is. I feel like it's a really good way to introduce yourself to somebody. Like, I mean, a couple years back, Job started to look at your social media and what they are, and like if you posted X, Y, and Z, like if you posted you doing some illegal substance, you're not getting the job. But now it's like if you're going for a specific job or trying to be a freelancer, they'll check your social media, and they're not checking it for bad, like anything bad. But like they go on there and they see all your amazing photos and all your artwork, and that's just another plus to you. Like it's brownie points. Like it could even get you the job. It adds
to the resume.
Right, it really is. It's like another form of resume. Well, people really don't often see that.
In a way too, like for photographers, like and Instagram is a portfolio.
Yeah.
So like when I want to show someone my work, I'll bring out my Instagram most of the time. If they know what Instagram is and they want to, if they want to see my work, I'll pull up my Instagram. I'll say, look, I took these photos, I did these videos. I mean, that's when it's beneficial. And I think, like I was saying before, just social media needs to be beneficial.
Yeah, you can definitely take social media a really, really good way or just a terrible way. Just waste your life on it and waste your life away. 10 years down the line, you're like, damn,
bro,
what am I doing?
So like right before I started the breakthrough, it was like I was on my personal account a lot. Like I was on my personal account for like all the time that I was on the breakthrough account, and there was just one person, and he like got really mad at me and called me fake for some weird shit that like was so unrelated, but like in social media world it made sense, and I'm like, yo, no, I'm sorry that I didn't mean to like make you mad or anything. Right. So I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing social media. I stopped going on all my accounts. I stopped tweeting for a couple of days. I created the breakthrough right after, and then I came back to social media as a breakthrough.
Right.
And that's the way to do it.
That's your new like portfolio.
And I was like, I gotta release all this anger through just like spreading this. Like it was my drive. It was like, like I'm not gonna be one of these other people that like post their life on social media. I'm gonna push my business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Very true.
One thing I want to stress to people, I don't know if this is going in or not, but so with young entrepreneurs, my path through high school, I started at Horizons right before I graduated, and this is a message that I've always wanted to really show to everyone, because it was a path that I took where being a young entrepreneur, I started in May, so it was right before I graduated high school, and I cannot tell you guys how many people doubted me because of my age, the industry I was going into, and just doubting in general, because starting a business, you're supposed to go to college.
Yeah.
That's that's what society wants you to do. But, and if anyone who's watching this is like struggling with starting a business and they're young and you're getting a lot of doubt, I want you to use that doubt as motivation, because it's very hard being a young person starting a business. Like I said before, you're just getting a lot of doubt, and you have a lot of things that aren't helping you. You don't have, you might not have the most money. You don't have enough people supporting you behind you, trying to help you and grow. But when you put time and effort into it, you start to see the growth, and you start to see when people start to actually like believe in you. And that is, one of the most motivating things for me when I was first starting Aerial Horizons is the amount of people that doubted me. Because I had people doubt me, and the whole time I knew in my head, like, I'm going to be successful with this company. I'm going to grow this company bigger than anyone's going to see. And when I'm getting all this doubt from people, it weighs you down a good bunch, because, when people don't believe in you,
You want that reassurance.
You need that reassurance in the long run.
You want your boy like, yeah, I fuck with this, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And like
right.
even because like it's a little different with my company because I'm dealing with a lot of older people.
Yeah.
You know, like real estate, which is boring as hell. But like so the way that it goes, you're gonna get doubt no matter what when you're young. It's just gonna happen. But know that doubt and at that point in your life, you have so much time to grow. You have so much time to work. I mean, put so much work in. So much.
We're all babies.
Yeah, we're at an age where I know most of us don't have a shit ton of responsibilities yet. So use that time to work as much as you possibly can. And whether it's, and I'm not saying at a 9-to-5 job either, unless it's, you need that money.
Work on your passion as well.
Yeah, work on a craft, a passion, something that something you want to grow in the long term. So like for me, when I started flying the drone, I spent so much time just going out and there was a long period of time where I hated the work that I was coming out with. Like the photos and the videos I was coming out with, I hated it. But what I kept in my mind and what I was kept thinking is that, I'm gonna perfect this over time, and I just need to keep that mindset instead of letting other people's opinions, really bring me down and not let me excel because, you can't listen to a lot of people about, really how you want to do things. Look at it your way and don't doubt yourself as well. Don't let other people make you doubt yourself. There are so many things you're going to go through, and it's going to be crappy. You're going to go through so many things that you're going to think is the end of the world as an entrepreneur. That is what happens. I mean, I've had multiple times with Aerial Horizons where something really bad happened, and I remember the first time I crashed a drone, I thought my life was over. And it wasn't even my drone. It was the real estate company I was working for. It was their drone. I crashed it at a house that I was taking photos of. And I was freaking out. I was scared. I didn't even want to go back to the real estate company after that. I was like, I was scared. But eventually, I brought it back. They fixed it. It was perfectly fine. And then after that, my photos got so much better. So just know that if something is really bringing you down, use that as motivation. Because it's a point in your life that you don't want to be at for the rest of you don't want to be for the next year of your life. You don't want to be in that position. So build your way out of it. Build your way to a point to where you're at a point in life and you like it and you enjoy it. Because that's the most important thing, in my opinion.
I like that, man.
Appreciate that.
Since we're on the whole motivational thing, at a point in your speech, you mentioned that, sometimes you can get discouraged and everything like that. One thing that I really want to mention is that if you do start a business, at some point you're going to expect immediate success or success right off the bat or some type of leap in success. And yeah, those leaps do happen, but you don't go, any overnight story is not an overnight story. An overnight success story is usually a couple years. This person was a nobody and then they blew up. But you can't just immediately expect success. I started my first business, like I said before, out of high school, and it was in an industry where influencers were pushing the fact that you could get rich like that. You could earn so much money so quickly, and I was quick to find out that you don't earn money very quickly. But with persistence, everything kind of just comes together. Sometimes you don't know how it comes together, but it will come together and you will end up making money or you will end up making connections in your industry and you will be making progression. You just have to have patience and persistence. And with dedication, all of that just kind of formulates and comes together in one thing. And then you can kind of just streamline everything.
That's
and,
great.
Backpacking off what you're saying, sometimes you can be weighed down by the people who are talking negatively against you, but you kind of have to ignore it or just really, like Gabe was saying, use it as fuel. You just got to use it as
so
fuel.
much more bittersweet when you win.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time when people are hating on you, it's because they don't have what you have.
Yeah.
They're looking at you and they're jealous.
They're like, shit, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right. They're like, why am I not as good as that person? I'm going to hate on them. And really, you should look at it in that mindset. These people are looking at me because I have more than them. And not to be conceited or anything, but sometimes you are ahead of some other people, and that's nothing against them, nothing against you. But you just have to use that all of that as motivation to just kind of burst out of your shell and just really just kill the game in whatever industry you are in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bang.
I agree.
So I just want
mic drop. You guys are about to be motivational speakers when you turn 25.
Oh, yeah.
That's my passion.
We're both going to be motivational speakers. I promise you. Whoever's watching this, if this is on, motivational speaker, both of us, it's going to happen.
This is going to be in your speech. You're going to pull up this video on the
look at
big
this, look at
whiteboard.
this.
It's like,
when I was 19 years old.
I said I was going to be a motivational speaker in this exact video.
look where I'm
Here I am. And shout out to the breakthrough.
Hey. So, all right, I do this thing where it's a little like a quick little game we do. It's called "What's Your Life Gonna Be Like in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years?" So I'm gonna go 1, 5, 10, and you guys tell me where you think you're gonna be, and do it within 15 to 30 seconds. And we'll start with 1 year. You.
Okay, so 1 year for me, I want to be working every day. I want to be at a point where I'm just growing assets for myself. I don't want to be super successful by then. I want to be growing assets long term at that point.
Dope.
That's a very good answer. In a year, Gabe and I will both be very successful with Aerial Horizons. We'll both be very engaged with the company. But like Gabe said earlier, it's going to take a totally different direction. We're really just building like a base for ourselves, but it's going to take a totally different direction, and we're going to honestly kill it in that industry, the music industry. I am passionate about it. He's passionate about it, and we're very confident that it's going to happen. I'm really looking forward.
Thank you.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. So
5 years.
So in 5 years, Gabe and I are still going to be the owners of Aerial Horizons. We probably won't be doing as much work for the company. By then, we anticipate that we'll be a fairly large company surrounding majority of the East Coast, Connecticut.
Cool.
And so it'll be a much bigger company at that point, capitalizing on multiple industries. So I'm very excited about that. And we'll have our own endeavors at that point, much bigger endeavors, I think.
That's nice.
So 5 years for me. What I see is that I want to perfect Aerial Horizons in the real estate industry. That's going to be our moneymaker, our bread and butter. And at that point, I really want to be focusing on the music industry with our section of Aerial Horizons. But I'm really hoping 5 years down the line, all my favorite rappers I want to be working for at that point. 5 years down the line, a lot of the people that inspired me, a lot of the great rappers that I really enjoy listening to, and the rappers that I'm working with now are going to be successful by then too. We're going to have a huge group, and it's going to be great.
That's awesome, man. And now 10 years for both of you. What do you think?
10 years, a lot of money by then. We're going to have, the music industry, I want to be known in the music industry. Like a huge inspiration is Cole Bennett for me. I really like how he puts visuals for people, like how he gives the visuals for music videos, and I use that as an inspiration for myself because I want to be able to work with a music artist and bring out their vision in a music video or whoever it is, bring out vision, and that's what I want to be known for by then. I want to be known by, a lot of people.
Right, really portray their emotion and everything.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. Obviously, we'll be hugely into the music scene by then. Personally, I'm really big into motivationally speaking to, whether it's a crowd of 5 people, 1 person, or 1,000 people. I've never done that personally, but I would love to have a huge influence. So at that point, I'm going to have a huge influence traveling over, speaking to younger entrepreneurs or even older entrepreneurs. At that point in my life, I hope to have my sponsorship program that I have in mind, where I'm going to sponsor a couple young entrepreneurs every year, take them through the routes, not literally give them the blueprints, but help them out every step of the way.
When they really need a question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Really be their mentor in life, for both life and business, to kind of gear them for all of the
real
struggles. Yeah, all the struggles that they're going to encounter. But really, I just want to motivate all the young entrepreneurs, because nowadays a lot of people are just taking hits for being a young entrepreneur. Like, oh, your dreams are too big. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I say, fuck that shit. If you have a big dream, just go get it. You got to be your own inspiration. You have to be your own passion. You have to really just put yourself out there on the line and take big risks.
And work.
Work.
Yeah, just work. Really, like work, period. Just work.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah, I like how you said that.
Just work. Bang. So is there anybody else you guys would like to shout out before we end today's interview?
Definitely the breakthrough. Palm Green Records, you're going to see a lot of work coming from us too, and with that group. And definitely some other people I want to shout out is, so we have 2 employees with Aerial Horizons, Sean Sant and Nick Hampton. They're super creative videographers. I'm so excited to start working with them. I've been friends with Zach and Sean since I was a freshman in high school, so it's going to be really exciting. And I actually looked up to Nick as a photographer in high school.
That's very funny, yes.
Yeah.
We both looked up to Nick.
And now he's working with our company, so that is sweet. So those are a couple people. And like I said before, Palm Green Records, we're going to be doing a lot of work for them, so really stay on the lookout for all that stuff. A lot of good music videos coming out.
Right. For me personally, the breakthrough, obviously Clark, the man behind the man behind the message here. I love Clark. He's been a homie for a long time. We grew really close actually through our other friend Chad. Shout out to him too. He's on the come up. He's progressing his music lifestyle, and I really like that. I like to see his progression because he's really come a long way since he started way back.
Definitely.
Obviously, Sean
His music's getting
Sant.
so much better too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sean Sant. Nick Hampton as well. As you said, they're great guys. They have a lot of talent. Love them. But the biggest shout out I have to give is to Bailey Pryor. He's been my mentor since I was very, very young. He's essentially my second father, and he's really just shown me like the best aspects of life, and really just follow my. He's always told me to follow my dreams and just go out there, take big risks, do what I want to do. Don't let other people infringe
Live your
on it.
life.
Right, live my own life, and I really just cannot give enough thanks to Bailey. So
That's awesome, man. Gang.
Gang.
This is The Breakthrough, the greatest podcast in the world. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out to the Breakthrough though.